Midnight Drearies.
Deborah was an ordinary teenage girl in every way except for one peculiar and horrifying secret. Her hair was not just a lifeless mass of strands, it was a sentient being, and it had a sinister agenda of its own. Deborah's hair had always been unnaturally long and lustrous. She had to spend hours each day taming it, brushing and styling it, but it was more than just a rebellious mane. It moved on its own, often curling around her neck or arms as if it had a mind of its own. At first, she dismissed it as an oddity, attributing it to her overactive imagination. But as time passed, the truth became inescapable. One night, as Deborah lay in her darkened room, she heard a soft whisper coming from the direction of her hair. It was a faint, eerie voice that sent shivers down her spine. "Deborah," it hissed, "I need more." Deborah's heart raced, and she clutched her bedsheet tightly. "Who are you?" she whispered back, her voice trembling. "I am the one who dwells within your locks," the voice replied, growing stronger and more malevolent. "I crave your essence, your life force. Feed me." Terrified, Deborah watched in horror as her hair slithered toward her like a grotesque, serpentine creature. It wrapped around her throat, constricting her airflow, and she struggled for breath. Her once beautiful hair was now a monstrous entity, trying to drain the life out of her. Desperate, Deborah reached for a pair of scissors on her nightstand and began hacking at her hair, but the sentient tresses only fought back harder. The room filled with her frantic screams and the maniacal laughter of her hair, growing louder with each cut. Finally, with one last desperate effort, Deborah managed to sever the last strand of her monstrous hair. It fell to the floor, lifeless, and the sinister presence vanished. Gasping for breath and shaking with fear, Deborah knew she had narrowly escaped a terrible fate. The ordeal left her with a shorn head, but she was free from the horrifying entity that had inhabited her hair. She knew she could never let her hair grow long again, for the evil that lurked within it would always be waiting, hungry for her life force. Deborah's hair would never again be her crowning glory, but she was thankful to be alive and free from the nightmarish terror that had haunted her.